Opeyemi Awoyemi is an entrepreneur with engineering and design backgrounds with 12 years experience in technology startups, product management and business leadership. He is enthusiastic about job creation, democratization of opportunities, Africa, e-commerce, fintech, healthcare education, and anything innovative and impactful. His life goal is to be a world business leader in the technology space out of Africa, have a great family, and leave the world empty. Opeyemi Awoyemi founded Jobaman, a Nigerian-based job portal and career platform that lists candidate job applications for employers and helps connect people looking for jobs with companies hiring. He programmed and designed the first version of Jobaman.com. He has since left the company. He worked at Indeed as a senior technical product manager. He is currently the founder and chairman of WooGhost, a leading cloud hosting company in West Africa with 50k plus paying clients. Co-founder of MoneyMe, a digital banking service for African migrants and global citizens. Co-founder and advisor of TalentQL, a company that provides vetted and verified software engineers. He has founding and management experience in 3 technology startups, investor experience having advised and invested in 50 plus tech startups.
Thank you very much for having me. Good day, everyone. Hope you can hear me. Can I receive some acknowledgement of you being able to hear me?
We can hear you.
Great. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be in your midst virtually today. I appreciate the opportunity, and I look forward to sharing some of my thoughts around building viable businesses in a digital changing world. Again, I want to also say thank you to the previous speaker, Mr. Dimij Falana. Thank you very much for a wonderful session. I think that was very insightful, and I love the way you broke things down in very simple concepts for everyone to be able to understand. I did pick a thing or two from that too as well. Thank you again. Okay, so I'll kick off. I think my introduction has been shared already, so I wouldn't try to dwell too much on that. Sorry, it looks like I'm having some. Okay, good. I got this. Okay, just a little bit high level about me. I'm Nigerian born and trained. Had my bachelor's degree in computer science from the Opeyemi Awoyemi University. I'm a serial entrepreneur, like was mentioned. I founded Jobaman, which is the largest job website in Nigeria and Ghana today. I think most people know Jobaman. I also founded WooGhost, which is a web hosting company that serves over 60,000 businesses in Nigeria today, and co-founded TalentQL, and now I'm building a company in the United States called MoneyMe, which is a digital bank for Africans living outside Africa. I'm also a fellow at the Legatum Institute and at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology, MIT. And I'm an investor. I've invested in numerous startups over the years. So I know a thing or two about digital businesses. And what I've realized over the last decade is that they say software is eating the world. I would say technology in general is eating the world. And it's not about starting a startup, launching one business here or there. It's really about the fact that everything we do today is being affected by technology in one way or the other. So 10 years ago, we started, actually a little bit over 10 years ago, let's say 12 years ago, myself, Lekon Lude, and Erija Deumi started a company called Jobaman. What problem are we trying to solve? We're trying to solve the problem of where when you needed to find a job, your only options were limited to going to the newspaper store, get Tuesday Guardian, and start opening through all the pages to look at the jobs that were there and they apply for those jobs. The other alternative that people were using was People will take a brown envelope, print many copies of their resume, and go get on Okada and be driving around the whole city and dropping CVs with companies. These are two inefficient methods. Number one, the first one was such that except you add money to be buying Tuesday Guardian every single time, right? You could not just apply for enough jobs. That's one. Number two, even the newspapers, because it's costly and very costly to do an advert, a job advert in the newspaper, most jobs that were even available were not listed in those newspapers. And the second option, which is driving around, how many companies can you actually ride Okada to? And when you drop the CV, you don't even know whether it's going to get to the hands of the MD of the company. I mean, a couple of people have been successful with that method because in life, right, when you are struggling at some point, you will see the light. But how long do people want to do that for? And how many people can really be successful with that method? So we decided to create a website that cataloged all the jobs in the country. And the focus was get all the jobs in the country in one platform and make it easy for users to check it out. When we did that, we just didn't do that blindly. We did that because a couple of other things were happening. BlackBerry had been introduced into the country, which meant for the first time, a lot of users can actually pick a phone and browse the internet to access a website. Fast forward from that year to now, everybody, let me not say everybody, most people, right, especially in urban and semi-urban cities, use a smartphone or at least have some access in some way or form to be able to access the internet on their hand, in their palm. When we started, most access was even via cyber cafes, right? People will go and pay money in cyber cafe and then browse 1 hour browsing, 2 hour browsing. I hear cyber cafes are mostly extinct now today in most cities. That shows how things have changed and how things will continue to change using technology. Now, when Mr. Dimeji spoke, he said technology is not even an industry anymore. Technology is affecting everything, and that is the truth. The good news is that consumers are benefiting. The bad news is that organizations that deliver services today don't have a choice but to embrace technology in one way or form. So, what has technology changed in specifics? Let me take it one by one. Technology has changed how consumers learn about products. Before, consumers will learn about products only via word of mouth, someone coming to their house to market to them, showing them a flyer, or them seeing a billboard, or them watching NTA or DSTV and seeing an advert on DSTV and NTA. Now it's changing. A lot of customers learn from online advertising. They hear about products from Google. And even now hear about products from WhatsApp and Instagram, where they are not just seeing the ads, they are also benefiting from seeing the feedback and information about what other people are saying about those products and comments. And all of this gives them an information flow of whether they should use a product or not. That's how customers learn about products today. Technology has also changed where customers use products. Before, everything happened offline. Today, a lot of things are happening on the internet. Customers bank on the internet. They buy on the internet. They play games on the internet. They apply for jobs on the internet. They even do jobs on the internet. I guess the only things people don't do on the internet today is we don't sleep on the internet and we don't eat on the internet. You still have to put food on in your mouth, right, physically. But a lot of things today has moved from offline to online. And even the ones that are still offline, a lot of them are enabled by technology. Technology has also changed how organizations learn about their users. Mr. Dimeji did a lot of great work in talking about understanding your customer before you build a product or before you start a business, knowing exactly what the customer will buy. Organizations today are already using technology to learn more about users. After they talk to users physically and they even build a small service, they use feedback of customers online to improve on their services. Organizations have also started using technology to manage processes and customers. What do I mean by that? Your product might be a product that is offline. For example, let's say you're a fashion designer, right? You are not going to sew clothes online, and you're not going to give them virtual clothes or digital clothes. People need to still wear the clothes, right? But then the process of delivering the product, the process of collecting payment, the process of communicating with the customer, right? Technology has a very big role to play in terms of introducing efficiency, ease, and even affordability into what is being done today. Lastly, technology has also changed how organizations deliver value. Like I mentioned earlier, like in the case of Jobberman did what? We delivered the value of helping people find a job right there online. We took it from offline, where it was very expensive, where you had to travel to somewhere to apply for a job. I remember an interesting episode, a joke. It's not a joke, this is a real life story, right? Or someone that called our customer support at Jobberman, and I think it was in Anambra State. And he said he wants to apply for a job, and he wants to come to Lagos to come and apply for the job. And he saw the job on Jobberman. And as we said, why do you have to come to Lagos, come and apply? He said the website is not in our state, that the website is in Lagos, right? It was a laughable moment, but it was the reality of what was happening then. In his mind, because the jobs are in Lagos, then the website to apply to is in Lagos. No, the website is on your phone, sir. Apply. We changed that overall, and this guy was still finding it difficult to understand that the world has moved on. He didn't need to come to the website. The website had come to him. So that's how organizations are delivering value today. I mentioned earlier that I invest in a lot of startups. While trying not to market, I try to do some showcase here. I typically, from time to time, just post about startups that I invest in. These are 8 startups that I've invested in. Some of them might be known to you. A lot of them might not be known to you. But I'll just talk through how these companies are using technology to innovate, technology to change how business is being done. And I'll touch on 2 points as I talk through them. I'll touch on who is benefiting from these services. And I also touch on who is losing. And who is losing is very important, so that you can understand exactly how technology is changing the world. I'll start from the top left. RolePay. What does RolePay do? RolePay is an online software that makes payroll and spend management easy for companies of all sizes. Different types of companies use them, from the very big companies like Cars 45 and that Draw Cafe, to small companies that have like 2 or 3 employees. And why do they exist? They exist to solve a problem of, if I want to pay my employees on a monthly basis, I don't want to have to write a letter to the bank to say pay these 20 people and put their account numbers on a letterhead and send it to the bank. They want to make it easy, and they also want to do the one where they will transfer money one by one for each person. This can be daunting for an entrepreneur who have other things they want to use with their time. So they did it in such a way that with one click, you can pay 20 people, you can pay 100 people, you can pay 1,000 people. You just load it once and you never have to do it again. They also do what we call spend management, where vendors, you can load your vendors and pay the vendors from the platform. You can also solve the problem of a lot of entrepreneurs today, where everything about money stops at your table. If you don't sign a check, money cannot go out. And why? Because you don't want anybody to see your money, which is a great thing, right? But then it takes away the efficiency. So if you travel, right, until you come back, nothing can happen, right? So they solve that problem by allowing multi-user access in their system, where a manager or a CEO can add access for other staff, can provide small money. Like if some of you that might be familiar with how civil service works, there's this thing we call interest in civil service, where they will take some small money, give it to someone to hold, and then you'll be spending money from that small money little by little. This kind of system makes it easy. You can give a staff access to say you can spend up to 100,000 without approval, right? On a monthly basis, and the person will be able to kind of pay from the system up to 100,000 without approval. You can put in rules that say if anybody wants to pay more than 150,000, let this other person approve and let me approve, or only 500,000 should come to me. And it works with the system so that nobody can do more than more than the access that you have given them. That way, your money is being protected, access being protected. You can see what exactly each person is spending money for. You can even do such a way that nobody can add a new vendor to the platform. Only you can add a new vendor. So anybody that they add, you will see it. So who is benefiting here? Businesses of all sizes are benefiting. Who is losing? Today, there's a lot of companies where it's one accountant, one bookkeeper that sits in the office and does that job. There's some other companies that say, oh, we are an accounting firm. We help you do your accounting. We help you do your payroll. We help you manage this. Those are the people that are losing. Business is being taken away from them, and technically, business is being made easy for thousands of small businesses across the country. The second one is Pay Center. A lot of you might be familiar with Pay Center. Pay Center does agency banking, and they're all over the country. They are the ones that manage these POS businesses where you can go and collect money and withdraw money or cash in, cash out. I'm sure a lot of you might have used that at one point or the other. They just make it easy for people without access to banks, or where the bank is too far, or having too much queues at the banks, or people in the market to do money transactions very easily. Who is gaining? The small mom and pop shop business, the trader, the person who does not want to go to the bank, the person living in the village where internet is bad, the person that doesn't want to internet banking because they don't have access to internet, they don't have data, or they just are afraid because they don't want to lose money. Who is losing? The banks. If the banks did not build this infrastructure to support all these people, businesses like this are building them. Quably is another one that does something a bit on the high level and helps people to build simple custom processes and simple software without writing any code. It was started by some folks that went to Olabisi Onabanjo University, young folks like you and me. Unguvu provides health therapy online, Unguvu Health. And who is winning in Unguvu? Everybody. Anybody that wants someone to talk to, anybody that wants health therapy. Who is losing? Today, medical professionals are not targeting that space of providing health therapy, and they are taking advantage of that, and they are doing it. I can go on and on and on and on and on. Bumper helps small businesses provide online shops without having to build online e-commerce software yourself. Vesti helps people to move abroad. Money provides funding for POS agents. POS agents need cash to operate. Talent Skill helps people accelerate their tech career and let people earn thousands of dollars from anywhere where they are, by putting them to technology jobs. All of these companies are innovating in their own different spaces, and they are giving value to some people and taking value away for some people. I'm sure some of us might know people who are in businesses that these companies affect in a positive way or in a negative way. So innovation is happening. Companies don't have a choice but to innovate or die. Now, the focus of my talk today is not about customers, but more about businesses. You might be running a business today and you're like, oh, how does my business scale? How do I fight? How do I win? Especially with all these technology businesses that are backed by venture capital investors. How do I win? The good news is that you can win, or you can thrive. Maybe I should not use the word win. The bad news is that if you don't go digital, you are likely going to kill your business little by little over time. Now, let me also clarify something very quickly. Does that mean you have to raise money? Does that mean it's all about raising money? The answer is no. Please, don't get it wrong. Not all businesses are ready for scale where you need investors to back you with millions of dollars. Not all businesses. And not all businesses need that. And there's also nothing wrong in having your own small business where you don't use investor money. and you grow steadily. But regardless of whether you use investor money or not, you need technology to thrive. And this goes without saying. And I mean it when I say it, 100% of businesses need technology to thrive. It's not some businesses, it's all businesses. All, in fact, not just businesses, all organizations. Our government needs technology to thrive and do better. Non-profits need it. Our educational institutions need it. And all businesses of all sizes need technology. So what are the benefits of digital alignment for businesses? One is customer growth. With technology, you can grow your customers. With technology, you can reach more customers. Second one is, okay, maybe I should draw a little bit more on the first one, customer growth. I gave the example of the tailor the other time, a fashion designer. Maybe today, you're dealing with just the people that are on your street and the next street around you. But there is your competitor who has leveraged Instagram as a way to showcase products and are getting hundreds of thousands of followers. And now they are getting businesses from everywhere across the world. People are calling them, people are delivering value, delivering material to them to sew from different parts of the world. And rather than complain, people like that have figured out how to, not just take in those orders at scale, but also how to provide good customer service by giving by delivering the garments, to time and to specification, and also figuring a way how to also use technology to fast track the delivery of the final product to the user, whether the user is in Lagos or the user is in London. That's technology. Let's move to efficiency. What does efficiency do? I gave the example of a payroll system the other time. When we look at all the businesses I showed in the last screen, a lot of them, the value they really provide is efficiency. In its sense, they provide technology to help businesses drive efficiency. Whether it's efficiency in getting a faster job, efficiency in building an online store very quickly, efficiency in paying customers very fast, efficiency in getting the financing you need to run your POS business, right? Businesses need technology to drive efficiency. So how do you think about efficiency? Mr. Dimeji talked about pain points the other time, right? He also talked about painkillers, talked about supplements. So let's focus on painkillers. Maybe there's a pain you feel, customers feel today, and your business model today is, I deliver what I have, what I don't have, I cannot give you. Maybe your business is a business where you deliver only to customers when they come to your premises. You don't offer some sort of virtual or remote service, right? Efficiency is how do you deliver to home and make it easy for the customer. Efficiency is also how do you improve your own backend processes such that instead of you spending 1 hour or 2 hours providing value for one customer, you can provide value for 100 customers within that 1 hour or 2 hours. That is efficiency. The coronavirus pandemic drove a lot of companies to figure out a lot of things about online delivery, right? And a lot of companies had to think hard about their delivery, their customer value delivery process, right? And it actually helped them to deliver better customer service and experience at the end of the day, right? Technology helps us, do that very well too. Another benefit is being cheaper on the long run. The reality is people drive for efficiency because of economics of scale. If you are servicing 20 customers today, who says you cannot serve 2,000 customers? You can, but what do you need? You need technology to help you improve that process. And it could take different forms. It could be you needed to build a wonderful customer relationship management system. You could be to subscribe to that software that allows you to be able to send messages to 20,000 customers all at once instead of 10 customers, right? It could be in some sort of artificial intelligence such that you can answer questions for some customers, automatically without you having to do it yourself each time. It could be that you need technology to make, answers automated such that you don't have to pick the phone and answer 100 customers all at once. Imagine you running a small business and 100 customers want to call you in 1 hour. You have only 60 minutes. in 1 hour, and you probably can spend you can spend 3 minutes on the phone with each customer. So that's 20 customers you're limited to talking to physically, right? So how do you service 100 customers? Technology helps you provide solutions that makes that kind of thing easy, right? Maybe you don't do calls for everybody, and there are automated responses to some of the common questions that people answer, right? Such that you only have to actually pick the call to answer the ones that are special requests, right? That is technology for you. Coverage expansion. This is the one I'm a favorite of. Technology allows you to sell anywhere and everywhere. Technology takes you from being that small business that sells to people in Agodi only, right? Or in the Bodija environs, right? And takes you to someone that can sell to anybody, anywhere they are, from Lagos to London to Kuala Lumpur, wherever they are. Technology gives you that opportunity, right? And lastly, leveraging on other businesses. This is also something I'm also a favorite of. With new concepts and paradigms like partnerships, APIs, you can connect to other businesses and use technology to leverage. Connecting to Paystack and use it to pay. Connecting to Bumper and getting an online store. Connecting to a logistics provider so that you don't have to have your own Okadas and bikes that do your delivery. Technology gives you an opportunity to do all of that easily, where many different players in the ecosystem work together and every player becomes more successful as a result. That is the power of technology. So, like I mentioned earlier, the fact is customers would move to better alternatives if you don't use technology to innovate, right? 4 examples I've shared here, which you are all familiar with these names, on how they've used technology to innovate, and they've pretty much taken customers away from a lot of other kind of businesses. Uber, taking customers away from taxi drivers and providing a new class of transportation, and also even empowering a lot of more people, right, to provide rides, but in a more dignified way. Jumia, building that big online shop where today someone that wants to buy a phone and doesn't want to go to a shop can buy online from the comfort of their home and they get it delivered. Jobberman Jobs, I've talked about that. Instagram, providing communication, providing discoverability of goods, of services, of places, of people, and whatnot. Now, what am I talking about? I'm not saying this has to be about building the next Jumia, building the next Instagram. You don't have to do that. But in your own little space, you can think about how technology helps you do a better job of keeping your customers, getting more customers, providing better value to your customers, easing customers' pain. That is where you need technology. So I'll just kind of finalize this by just kind of walking us through in practical ways, what can you apply technology to? And then lastly, how you should do it. Customer acquisition. You can apply technology to customer acquisition. Is it advertising? Is it a place where you showcase your products? Online store, Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp? Is it how you build what we call lead lists, where you can reach your customers faster via email or via their phone numbers? Is it how you generate contacts for demographics you are targeting? You can apply technology to that. So maybe you are a caterer in Ibadan, right? That targets offices, but then you're like, you're not getting customer or whatnot. Have you tried to figure out how you can get a list of all businesses in Ibadan and then get the list together and then send an email to all of them, right? Offering them 20% discount on your services for the rest of the year. It's technology that will help you to aggregate that data. It's technology you will use to send, the marketing proposition that I just described to those users, or the offer, right? As we call it in marketing, where you are saying 20% discount to the rest of the year, and you're sending to tens of thousands of businesses in Ibadan, rather than just putting up a flyer in front or a billboard in front of your own shop and expecting the whole of Ibadan to see it, right? It's technology that will help you do that. Production process. Applying technology to the production process in the case of folks that do digital goods, maybe a graphic designer, how to use tools that makes things easier for your customer to collaborate with you, to give you feedback on the design you've done, and such you can deliver more designs in a shorter time, also in a way that customers feel that they've been engaged and come out with a better outcome for yourself and for customers. Service delivery. We talked about logistics. We've talked about payment processing, payment collections. How do you use technology to improve on all of that? Communication process. SMS, emails, broadcasts. If you have an app, push notifications. The popular communication channels we have today, Instagram, WhatsApp, and whatnot. We talked about that too as well. Those are things you can apply technology to. Customer understanding, surveys, right? How do you use your WhatsApp today to get feedback from customers? Do you take feedback from customers they say, oh, can you do this for us? Like, no, we don't do that. You use that information that customers are giving you to kind of figure out what do customers really want. Because at the end of the day, when it comes to business, you are not building for yourself. You are building for customers. One of my favorite venture capitalists will always say, make something customers want, right? Make something customers want. Not what you want, but what customers want. You might have started your business on an idea. Oh, I want to start catering. I want to start supply. I want to start this. I want to start that. But at the end of the day, you need to refine whatever you are doing based on what you've seen that customers want. Payment collection and verification. I've talked about that before. Back-end processes. Technology is not just about communicating with customers. It's about also how you manage things in the business that customers are not seeing. Let me just take one step back. Payment verification is one of those kind of back-end processes. I had the kind of business that today, when customers pay, you are like, oh, sorry, I have too many payments. You have to give me a day to check and confirm your payment, right, before I can deliver service to you. While you are trying to figure that out, some other business is confirming payment instantly and are delivering value instantly, right? And before you know it, customers will shift to those kind of businesses. That is an example of a back-end process, a process that takes your time today. That with technology, you can reduce those hours to minutes. You can even eliminate it, and you'll be bigger and better for it at the end of the day. This is just one example of back-end processes. Yeah, back-end processes that all organizations experience. The church has a lot of back-end processes. Education institutions have a lot of back-end processes. Even small businesses also have back-end processes, right? Even in organizing a program like this, there are a lot of things that have gone into it that it is not seen at the front end, but are happening in the back, which is what culminates in the success of an event like this. Partnerships for success. You can use technology to also drive partnerships. For me, I have a cheat sheet I use for partnerships. Before I partner with an organization, the first question I ask is, are they going to help me increase my customer base? Are they going to drive new customers to me, right? And if the answer is yes, you also discover that for the customer as well, by doing that, you also are going to be helping them drive an objective of theirs. And you figure out you can partner together and do things like co-marketing or marketing to each other's audience, or using a service that they provide and they using a service that you provide, or exchange customers, or even revenue share based on how you do these things, right? I remember in the early days of Jobberman, we were lucky to have clinched a partnership with MTN, which actually helped us a lot. MTN wanted to deliver more value-added services to their customers. We had the jobs. We did a partnership where MTN would ask people to subscribe for jobs on their phone, and then people could get SMS with the latest jobs. Now they don't even need to go and browse our website anymore. They get SMS with the latest jobs in their category right there on their phone. That was a partnership that worked for us and generated millions of dollars in revenue for both MTN and Jobberman. Capital efficiency. Now, okay, before I move to capital, maybe I should mention another kind of partnership, right? Another kind of partnership, because we're looking at it like Jobberman and MTN, those are like two big companies. Another kind of partnership is a partnership where you might be a small company, but you are partnering with a bigger company, leveraging the tools and services that you provide to get more customers or deliver more value. A good example, and practical example, is a taxi driver who partners with Uber, right? By using the Uber app, is technically you partnering with Uber to become a better business, to increase your customer base, to make easy the process of payment collections, and also to get a guaranteed income for yourself, right? Someone who sells on Jumia, it's also a partnership of some sort, where you are leveraging the tools that Jumia has provided to drive your business. Or a mobile money agent who works with Opay or Pay Center, you're leveraging the tools that they provided to partner for success and apply technology to increase your own revenue, to increase your own customer base. Those are like practical examples for partnership for success at different levels. In those kind of cases, you are using technology, but you are not necessarily building any technology for yourself, right? So it's also possible to apply technology without necessarily building technology. And I'll get even more to that in a bit. Capital efficiency. Today, Nigeria is rife with all sort of financing products and whatnot, right? Capital efficiency is also something you can apply technology to, right? For example, maybe you sell, right? And you discover that to stock your shop, you need lots of products. How do you apply technology to solve that kind of problem? There's a concept called drop shipping, right? Where you don't need to have the product land in your shop. You don't need to store inventory, right? You sell and you ask the wholesaler or distributor to deliver directly to your customer, right? Those are like examples of where people solve capital efficiency problems using technology. It's not about, oh, I must stock my shop must be full, right? There's also similar processes in like that, selling airtime, or even the case of Jumia, right? Jumia has a process where you can even sell on their behalf. There are tools like that all around that you can use to solve the problem of capital efficiency. Long gone is the day where you say your excuse is, I don't have money to set up myself. I don't have money to set up shop. There are ways you can apply technology to provide capital efficiency. Maybe the first is, do you even need a physical shop, right? Maybe secondly, do you even need to stock your shop with physical products? You need to put all those capital and, and idle capital such that, you're not looking at your capital on the floor yourself, right? You can use technology and apply to capital efficiency. Now, how to find the right technology, right, to build your digital business. Number one is you can build technology. We all know about that. I'm sure you're thinking that they are talking about technology. I don't know how to develop software. How do I find a programmer, right? But it's the first option. Build your own technology. Build software yourself or find a programmer to do it. Now, this itself, it's not very easy for most people. So except you are at the advanced level and you're trying to build maybe a tech-enabled startup, I always advise maybe building technology might not be for you, because this technology is cheap for big companies, but might not necessarily be cheap for a small company, right? Depending on your size, it might not be the best way to go. So if it's not, building does not work for you, the next thing you can do is you can buy, or let me call it rent or lease, right? Where you're buying what we call a software as a service, a software that helps you deliver a service. So for example, I wouldn't expect any of you to build a bulk SMS solution because you want to send bulk SMSs out. What happened to, paying for bulk SMS to the bulk SMS provider and using their own solution that they built to send those SMSs out, right? Those are examples of a software as a service, a software that you use to deliver technology value to your customers, but you didn't have to build. All you just needed to do was sign up. The good part of it is a lot of them are even free or offer at least a free tier where you can get some value for free, and then maybe later you could upgrade if you want to use more, right? There are tools to help you design better. There are tools to help you sell better. There are tools to help you collect payments better. There are tools for you to do logistics better, right? There are tools all over, technology tools that can help your business. Please make use of them. If time permits, I'm happy to also recommend specific tools. As people are asking, if people come up with questions around what tools can work for my business, this is what I do. I can, mention a couple of things to you if time permits. Please, you can do that in the chat or a Q&A session after I finish my presentation. Now, the last one is partner. I explained this earlier when I talked about partnership for success. Leverage business models that have been built by larger companies who are providing their tools to you for you to grow your own business. Now, the also good thing about some of these business models is that some of them are venture funded in such a way that they are even free to use or very cheap to use today. Don't wait till they kill your business. Partner with them, work with them, and on their heels, grow your own business very fast. You might not be able to compete with them, and sometimes it just doesn't make sense to compete with them. It just makes sense to partner with them. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you very much, and I'm happy to take questions at this point.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Opeyemi Awoyemi. So, do we have any questions for him? Any questions for Mr. Opeyemi Awoyemi? Come on, let's ask questions. Feedback for Opeyemi Awoyemi and Dimeji Falana. Anyone? Feedback. If you have feedback, if you have something you want to say to them, if you want to give them, you want to appreciate their contribution this morning, I'm going to give the mic to someone. Okay, I'll come and give the mic to someone.
So I would like to say thank you very much, sir. Okay. So what I actually learned from this meeting is that as a young entrepreneur like me now, I don't even, though I run a laundry business, I don't even think of me taking it to technology level. I actually think me having a just normal mouth-to-mouth advertisement, something like that. So from what he actually told me now, I'm even thinking of creating a WhatsApp line for my business separately and me partnering with some logistics because most times I have a lot of clothes to deliver and I don't have anybody to actually go ahead and deliver. So now I can actually partner with any logistics company and then help me and deliver it and get the payment. And I actually learned if I can make payment online because most times when customers pays me money, I hardly see a lot, something like that. And if I want to pay some people, those I get materials from, it's kind of more hard for me visiting bank. I use the Roma bank. I have little problem with them, something like that. So I really learned a lot.
You're welcome. And I'm glad you have seen ways how you can apply technology to a business that looks like doesn't need technology. A laundry business can scale and scale really very well with technology. Thank you very much, my brother.
Thank you so much. I'm going to give it to another man who is going to give us his feedback.
Thank you very much for the session. Personally, I learned a lot, and I'm definitely going to apply the tenets in my futuristic endeavors. Thank you, both of you.
You're welcome, sir.
I'm going to give it to a lady now that is going to tell us what she learned as well.
Thank you to our facilitators. What I learned is that the world is getting to a digital, like the world is going digital. So everything we do, we should have this at the back of our mind and how we can leverage on that digital space. Even at the bank, that's where I work. What we clamor on is digital, 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 and how we can use it to the best of our advantage. Thank you.
Thank you very much, my sister.
The last and final person I'm going to give it to another lady that's going to tell us what she has learned, because I can see that she penned down a lot of things.
Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate this opportunity. I learned so much. Like there is one thing I wanted to do that has to do with business, and with this teaching, I'm able to be convinced and to know that even if I didn't have the money at the moment, I can partner with people that are already in it. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome, my sister. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. This was lovely to have you this morning. We are so grateful for the knowledge that you have impacted to us this morning. We're grateful. So we've come to the end of the entrepreneurship talk this morning. To my understanding, most times when we listen and we don't write it down, we forget about 75% of what we have listened to. So please go back to your notes and continue to read and practice what you have written down. And you can also go back to these sections that we've had this morning and listen to it again, just for emphasis.